Hey YouTube, it's me, Michelle. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a quick update on what we've been doing with the adoption process. So yesterday, my husband and I went to an adoption orientation for the agency that we've decided to go with here in Houston, and it went well. And then tomorrow we're supposed to go to a pre-service with the agency, and those are the only two courses with them that are in-house that we need to do. We've completed some online courses and given them quite a bit of our paperwork. They should be doing the background. We gave them the paperwork for the background to run our background. They said they should be doing that by Monday or Tuesday, and then they'll give us the information for fingerprinting, and we'll take care of all that. And so, yeah, we're on our way. We haven't gotten, everybody keeps asking me if I'm excited. Are you excited? Are you excited? I haven't gotten excited yet, I guess because we're not close enough to an actual, yeah, we're going to be parents. So I haven't gotten excited. It's just, for me, it just feels like a lot of preliminary stuff, like stuff I've probably, you know, I've been this far, I feel like, in the process before, where we did go see a fertility doctor, or we did do this, or we did do that. So I don't feel like I'm any further along than I was in any of the other things I've done. It'll feel like it when we get everything turned in and they come and do the home study and say, hey, yeah, we're opening you guys' home for a child. And once that is done, then I will feel like, I think then I'll get excited. Right now, I keep telling everybody I think my defense mechanism is just kicked in, and so to make sure I don't get hurt, I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's what I keep saying, and that's what I keep telling myself. I haven't really allowed myself to get excited, and maybe toward, like I said, toward when we get close to that point, I'm sure I will. I'm happy, but I haven't gotten to a point where I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. Yeah, we're on our way. We haven't gotten far enough for me to feel like that. I don't feel yet. So right now I just have to, I talked about the 5 stages of grief in another video, and I just have to be in the acceptance mode and accept that we don't, and we may, and we don't know, and if we do, we'll find out, and so I'm just very much in that stage of feelings right now, and so I'm just kind of like, we'll see, whatever happens, happens. So, Lord willing, we will in a little while, we'll be to that point where we are, they tell us that, hey, we're accepted, and they open our home and we can have a little one. And it was so, made me feel so good because my husband initially said he wasn't sure he could. Well, initially when I told him, because it's on a Thursday night, the course we did yesterday was on a Thursday night, and my husband works in the evenings. So we had gone. No, I had told him about the class, and he said, well, he wasn't sure he could make it. Then he come back and said, yes, he could make it. And then he told me yesterday morning that he wasn't going to be able to make it. So, of course, I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh. But I was like, what, it is what it is. I've just adopted that mentality and a lot of stuff. It is what it is. We'll cross that bridge later on. They'll do another course. We'll go another time. Or you'll go another time. I was going to go. And so I went to the class. I got there and everything. And then about 10 minutes in, he walks in the door and he was like that he had, told his job he was going to be late. And it just made me feel so good. Like I was almost down to tears. Because in this process, for me, the reason I have had to step back and take a back seat emotionally is because it has been very hard. It's been very difficult. And I haven't had a lot of support, as far as a lot of people don't necessarily understand, because a lot of people that I know have just bam, bam, they're pregnant, bam, they've had a child, bam, and for me it hasn't been that way. And so a lot of people don't really understand, what I've been going through, or, things like that. So it has been a little bit difficult for me, to try to go through all this. And because of that, I don't ever want to go through you did talk about the stages of grief, and I've been angry, and I was I was so angry and hurt and just upset in 2017 and 16 and 15. I don't want to go back to that point. And not to say once you get to stage 5 of the grieving process that you don't go back. And you will some days have moments where you kind of cry or whatever, but those are few and far between, where before I was just in that stage and that's how I felt, and I don't want to be that person again. I don't want to feel like that all the time anymore. So for me, my defense mechanism is oh well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's just very nonchalant about everything, and very just taking a position of great, great if it does, and if it doesn't, that's fine too. And that's just the position I've taken, like I said, just to keep myself from being hurt again, because I don't want to go down that road again. And so as a result, I've taken that in a lot of areas. But I was so happy when he came yesterday, because I didn't think he was going to make it. He had told me he wasn't going to be able to make it, and when he came, it just I don't know. It was like I fell in love with him all over again. I was like, oh my gosh, And here he is like, well, I didn't do anything. I was like, no, you don't understand how I need that support right now. And I probably am not showing that I could use that support, because I am taking a very nonchalant way of things. Like I said, people keep asking, are you excited? I'm not really. I'm just taking a very nonchalant attitude, but yet I'm still very diligent about making sure it's done. When I want something, I get binders. I get a notebook or a binder or whatever that is for that particular thing, and it's dedicated to that one thing, and I do all the paperwork for that, and I make all the contacts that I need to. It was so funny because we're in class, and when I go to class, I'm probably going to know, I'm not going to say almost as much as the teacher or the instructor, but I'm going to know probably somewhere close up in that area. I'm going to be able to answer a lot of questions. And they were asking, some of the other ladies in the class were asking questions, and I was answering them for other people, for the instructor, because I educate myself. I'm always going to educate myself, just because I want to know. I just want to know. I don't want to go into anything blind. I want to know what I'm getting into. So I've educated myself on this, and my husband knows that. But so I'm doing all these things. But as far as the enthusiasm of showing the enthusiasm, I'm not really, again, because I don't want to put my heart on my sleeve again and get hurt, and that was just very hard for me. So I don't want to go down that road again. So because of that, I'm taking a very nonchalant attitude. But yet I'm excited, yet I'm like, it could be. But like I said, you don't want to get your hopes up. You're just kind of like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you know what I mean? And that's just the mentality that I've kind of taken on things. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I was very happy. I was so happy. And he was just like, I didn't do anything. I was like, no, you really showed up for me. And I really needed that. I need that support. And even though I may not show some days that this is emotionally taxing for me, it is, it's emotionally difficult. I want to be a mother. I don't want to not finish everything and get to this point. But if it happens, I have to face the fact that who knows? Only God. And so that's where I'm at. But yeah, I was so thrilled that he came, and like I said, I just felt like, oh God, and he just was like, I didn't do anything. I was like, no, you don't know how much just showing up meant to me, and then he asked some of the best questions, you know what I mean? Like, he asked some really good questions, and some of the ladies in class were like, oh, that was a good question. He was asking really, really good questions, and like he really, really was into it. Like he really, really cared. And it just made me feel so good because up till now, like I said, it's always seemed like, especially not just with this adoption process, but with anything that has to do with me becoming a parent or us becoming parents, it feels like people are just very much like, you deal with it. You know what I mean? And so it's just been kind of difficult, but it's getting, and like I said, I think that's probably part of my nonchalant, just, don't think about it mentality. You know what I mean? But it's getting better. I keep telling people it's going to get greater later. And whatever God has in store for us, me, you, any of us, I'm going with it. You know what I mean? I don't know why, I don't know when, I don't know where, but I know this. He didn't bring me this far to leave me. He didn't bring me this far to fail me. And everything is going to be for his glory, for some type of a testimony. So it is what it is. And I'm going to rejoice in it and be happy for it and be thankful for it and keep it moving. And at the end of the day, like I said, I really fell in love with my husband all over again just yesterday. And I was like, God, if it was just me and him for the rest of our lives, I would not be sad at all, because he just, showed me again how much he loves me, so, but yeah, that's where we are. And so I'll keep you posted on how things are going, how far we get. I want to do some more different type of videos where maybe I can tape some of the classes or things like that, and I'll ask our foster parent developer is what they're called. I'll ask her if I could kind of maybe go over some of the things or videotape some of the class or something, so you guys can kind of get an idea for some people that may be thinking about adopting. Anywho, that is the end of that, and y'all have a great night, great weekend, and I'll keep you guys posted on everything that's going on with us. So y'all have a good one.